You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW-LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC-LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thanks for visiting our archives for the Hispanic Chamber Connections radio program with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Remember, we are live on Lone Star Community Radio every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. If you have any questions, just reach out to us at the link below.
And good afternoon. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio program. Thank you for being with us. I'm Dr. Carlos Sanchez, and we have a great program in store for you. We've lined up a wonderful, wonderful person to talk to you about healthcare and about senior services and things like that. Her name is Kelly Britton. In a couple of moments, I will introduce her. Before that, though, I just want to make sure that you remember that this program is designed for and run by and catered to members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. That's the mothership. The mothership is the Texas Gulf Coast. The Chamber of Commerce that's local is called the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber, but there's also the Katy Hispanic Chamber and the Galleria Hispanic Chamber. So those are a couple of other organizations that we have where we have groups and we have presence and things like that. We're also in Vintage Park as another Chamber of Commerce. So people ask, what is this thing? You know, is it a Chamber of Commerce? Or is it a networking? What is it? And the bottom line is a Chamber of Commerce is an organization of businesses that's together for three reasons. One is to promote commerce, to do business. So that's the first thing. The second thing is education. So we look for ways to educate each other to become better business owners, better business people. And we're really serious about that. And the third one is protection, advocacy, and to look out for each other. So all three of those components are put together, and that is what a Chamber of Commerce is. If your Chamber of Commerce is not doing those three things, well, then maybe we should talk, because most chambers have gone on for many, many years, 30, 40, 50 years, and we really respect that longevity and what they've done. But their focus now is more community-based. It's not necessarily all business-based. It's hard sometimes to do business in organizations that are designed just for business. So that was my experience a few years ago, and that's why we started this Chamber of Commerce. The fact that we're a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, it doesn't mean you have to be Hispanic to join. It just means that we are a part of the market, and we understand a minority market, a growing need, and so our members are open to a multicultural sort of approach to commerce, to business, and I think that's smart. So we call ourselves a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, like I said, you don't have to be Hispanic. There's no ethnic requirement. But there are about 300 businesses who have said yes to us, and we're growing very quickly every day. So if you're not a member, we would love to invite you to look at us and to consider us as your next Chamber of Commerce. So people were asking me the other day also, well, do you guys do anything for the community? And well, of course, we very recently were in a shelter here in Conroe for victims of Hurricane Harvey, and there were like 20 of us at the shelter, and so our members are very involved in the community as well. And so I think that we do fulfill the definition of Chamber of Commerce, although we are new. A year and a half is nothing compared to other chambers that are around here. So by all means, we respect who they are and what they're doing. I think we have a different niche in the market. We have a different feel. But again, we should be proud of that. You should be proud of it if you're a member. And there you go. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about who is here today with us. She is a longtime member. I mean, she's been a member now for about 6 to 8 months. When she joined, one of the most important things that you will quickly know about Kelly is her real interest in helping others and her interest in being involved with a segment of society that, as far as I'm concerned, it's badly, I don't want to say neglected, but it probably is neglected to a point. And here's my big example of that. About a year ago, oh, and by the way, Kelly Britton, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
About a year ago, there was this flood, and my car flooded, right? So I drove right into Spring Creek over by Luetta and 1960. I drove right into the creek, and I had no idea that I was driving into the creek. The water just came right up. Wow. It was dark, classic. But what I was able to do is still drive the car up onto like a little mound up near a tree. So I drove the car. The engine was out of the water by all means. Just a part of the back was underwater. Basically, I stood in my car and said, "I'm not getting out of this car." In my head, right? I said, "I'm not getting wet. I don't want to get wet." But somebody saw me acting like I knew what I was doing, and he knocked on my window very forcefully, and he said, "Get out of your car now." I said, "Officer, I'm gonna get wet. Don't make me get out." He goes, No, you're in danger. Get out now." So I said, very reluctantly, right? Because you get out to 4 feet of water, not 4 feet, 3 feet of water, 2 feet of water, and I'm squishing and squashing, and I went to higher ground, as it were, that was near another house, the driveway of another house. And as I turned to my right, I saw a red car, like a small Toyota Corolla or something like that. They were almost completely, like the water had gone halfway above the windows. I mean, it was really bad. But there were guys in the car helping people out of the car. And the people that were helping out of the car were two people that had to have been average age 85.
Oh, wow.
Husband and wife. And senior citizens, just unbelievable in that, the firemen were so compassionate, because I would have told them, "What are you guys doing in the water?" I would have said something, because it was just so surprising to me to see senior citizens driving in a moment where you're not supposed to be driving.
Absolutely.
And they said they had to go out to get something from the pharmacy. They got caught. You don't get caught in flash floods. It's hard to get caught, because you hear so much about it before.
Mm-hmm.
You really do have to be either not listening or not paying attention. Basically, then they were saved, but they brought those people to where I was in this driveway, which is above water, and someone came to one of their sons came to pick them up. So they got in the truck, and I got on, without even asking permission. Once they got on, I got on too, for a ride, and they gave me a ride, right? And so I asked them, "What are you guys, what are you doing?" It was very puzzling to me to see a couple of that age underwater almost. And not even, and they were as confused as you can imagine.
Oh, wow.
They just, and if I would have asked them their name, they probably would not have been able to respond. They were just
Scary situation.
Very, very scary. Oh, unbelievable. When you're in a situation like that, I don't think you understand how dangerous it is until you move away from it. Then you say, "Oh my God, I just went through something real."
Yes.
So I asked them questions. They were they were in shock. And of course I was soaking wet. And I got to walk, like 4 blocks in knee-deep water home. Left my car there, which was an awful feeling. And I left the seniors left with their son, right? So I walked home, and 3 days later, when the water finally receded from this creek, I went back to look at my car, and because I was going there every day just to check it out, and the water had not gone down enough for me to get in and see what was wrong with it. So I did what you're not supposed to do. When the water finally went down, I went and checked out the car, and I put the key in the switch, and I clicked it, and it worked.
Oh, wow.
And I drove right away. I'm driving it now. Like, oh my God, nothing happened to it. Other cars, you could tell they were totaled,
Very fortunate.
So I was, on all accounts, I was blessed, but I guess my biggest point is, how is it possible for us to neglect our seniors to that degree where I know that there's an independence thing, that they really need their dignity and all that. But when they get into dangerous situations, it worries me that there was nobody there to tell them not to do it. They made a decision. They went out. They could have died.
Right.
And so the need for senior care, the need for senior attention, is just it's major. And I know you know a lot about that.
Yes,
for sure. So before we talk more about senior care and about the kind of things ABC does, quickly let me run down some things that are happening at the chamber.
Okay.
Today you went to the luncheon.
Yes.
On Tuesdays from 11:30 to 1, we have a lunch here at Another Broken Egg, right off 45 and at the Portofino Shopping Center. So you attended that lunch a couple times now.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes, it was very well attended today. Lots of great networking opportunities. We get some visitors, that were always interested in sharing what we do at the chamber. And, the chamber to me has just been a really wonderful experience because of the education. I think more than anything, you guys really pour into, especially you, Dr. Carlos, you pour into us a lot of education to help us grow our businesses. And it's more like a family group. We support each other. We come out for each other's businesses. We help when we need to. We help brainstorm and help people grow and develop. And that's what I really love about being a member of the Conroe Woodlands Hispanic Chamber.
Woodlands, what the name is people have asked me about the name. Like, guys, look, it has all kinds of names, but the bottom line is we're an organization, we're a nonprofit,
I'll say Hispanic Chamber.
There you go. We're the same charter, the same legal, makeup as any other chamber of commerce. But the name has been an issue because when we first started about a year and 4 months ago, we began to grow very quickly, and we got a lot of attention, from different organizations, and some of them didn't like us, and so they sued us. They didn't sue me, but they did send me a few letters of what do you call these letters? Cease and desist. And these really upset lawyers would call me and say, you can't call yourself, the North Houston Hispanic Chamber, which is what it was, because the Houston Hispanic Chamber doesn't like your name. You're confusing the market. And I said, okay, never mind. I'll just change it, So our members have rolled with the punches. We've had to change throughout time.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? In the end, it's still us. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, so, you're doing something right when you're, raising eyebrows.
When they get mad.
When they get upset.
And there's a few that have been. But
you're great at social media as well, and I love that about you as well.
You're going to be on for sure. You'll see Kelly. But all right. So today is that. But this afternoon we have a ribbon cutting.
Yes.
At Core Health. Chiropractic and Natural Medicine. Mm-hmm. They have the Woodlands School of Massage Therapy, and that's being inaugurated tonight.
Yes.
At 5:30. And if you know where that is, and I don't have the specific address.
It's over off Kirkendall.
Yes, almost Kirkendall and Woodlands Parkway.
I think so.
Around there. Bottom line is look it up. Look it up. Core Health. Chiropractic and Natural Medicine in the Woodlands at 5:30. They promised meatballs this time, and
I heard those are infamous.
Well, a few things. It's funny because about a year ago, and they're right. It wasn't them that were doing an event. Somebody else was doing an event, but Dr. Thigpen, who is the principal doctor there, made some meatballs for one of our members. He makes these great cranberry, really, really good meatballs. They're really tasty, but they're soaked in cranberry sauce, right? So somebody put them on a plate, one of those flat plates, and they dropped them.
They rolled off.
And then yes. And then another one of our members went and squished and stepped on them.
Oh.
And then there we lost our deposit. I could see our deposit leaving through the door. This is done. So we had it clean and hyper clean. No, they just couldn't remove the stain.
Oh.
But because the person who stepped on him, who's still an esteemed member, we still remind him that it was him. But he's not. It is what it is. That happens. So anyway, we have that tonight. We have on Thursday we have lunch in Vintage Park. On Friday in Katy we have a breakfast. So we're all over the place. So we're very, very active, about 40 events per month. And like we said, you don't have to be Hispanic to join. You just have to be interested, and you get all these benefits. So we'll talk more about the benefits. We'll talk more to Kelly Britton with ABC Services in a couple minutes. So please stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Looking for a bilingual insurance company in the Montgomery County area? Since 2006, the Amel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency, and it all started with Leonard Amel. Now working with 3 full-time agents offering home, auto, life, and umbrella insurance, the Amel Agency works with you to provide the insurance you need. Whether it be for your business or personal needs, they put that need first. The Amel Agency of the Woodlands is open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. Call today at 832-299-6640 or email them anytime at info@amelagency.com to answer any of your questions. For more information on location and inquiries, look up Amel Agency online at amelagency.com. The Amel Agency, Montgomery County's bilingual insurance agency.
And we're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio program. I am here today with Kelly Britton with ABC Senior Services. They take care of seniors.
Yes.
They take care of seniors in their home.
Yes.
So they don't have to leave their home.
Absolutely.
And they stay with their seniors to make sure that they take their medicine, that they change their clothing when necessary, they bathe. All these things is what you guys do.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's really important that we get more information about that. Before that, though, I want to make sure that our audience realizes that our Chamber of Commerce is made up of about 50% Hispanic and 50% non-Hispanic. Because of cultural, constraints, you could call it, or just cultural nuance, Hispanic folks in general don't network the way American folks do, or the way non-Hispanics network. Hispanic folks tend to be more tight-knit, more into their friends and family, more. That's just a tendency. It's not everybody by any means. But we see it reflected in the market. So when we go to networking events, you'll find it maybe 70-30. 70% and very active are the Americans or the Anglos, or the gringo, as it were, and Hispanics tend to be about 30%. And but that's just how it is. So one of the bigger things that we have as a mission is to try to educate both sides. You know, not only Hispanics to become more involved and to learn how to network, but also Americans to understand why that happens, how that works, and how to get more involved with people who don't necessarily put so much credence on networking. It's just a different form of thinking, you know, and that matters to us. And I think that is part of the education we provide our members. We were talking about that, Kelly.
Yes. I mean, and so when I was first approached about joining the Hispanic Chamber, I was concerned because I'm not Hispanic.
Yes.
And so I was like, I don't know if that would work. I don't know how that's going to work. But, you know, I jumped in feet first because, you know, I know you're a great, member of society and the community, and really trusted what you were doing. And so what I learned through all of that, and also through your book, was, you know, some tips on how to gear your business toward so that you can service the Hispanic population. Such as, you know, hiring bilingual caregivers and things like that, so that we can be able to service them the way they need to be serviced. I do understand the tight-knitness of Hispanics. Sometimes they tend to take care of their family more than anyone else.
Absolutely.
And so I have seen that, throughout my work. But I do definitely see the benefit of reaching out even to you when I have questions about things. And you've been really helpful in helping me navigate some of that water.
And that is a big deal, that they do have to trust you in a very big way before they'll let you, take care of their grandmother. Because as a culture, it's similar to the Asian culture, where we're, as children, we're taught nobody takes care of your grandmother better than your mother, or you had to take care of your grandmother. And it's just
very
a thing,
generational, yes.
But now people think differently, but it's still ingrained,
Right.
So what we talk about when we say, you really have to understand some nuance, it has to do with things like this. During our meeting today, I mentioned the 5 F's, right? So it's food, family, friends, faith, and fun. If you're going to have a Hispanic marketing, initiative, and you're going to feed people, feed them real food,
Yes.
And what I mean by real is it has to contain gluten. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's like it has to be. If you're listening, anybody that's gluten-free and vegetarian, I apologize, but this is reality. Our tacos have to be greasy tacos. It has to be a certain way.
Food that speaks to them.
Well, because if you take that off, trying to be all smart and safe and healthy, you won't gain their trust.
Right.
It'll be you not accepting who they are.
Right.
Because the way you evolved, the way you changed was through education and maybe through some suffering that you said, okay, I need to change my diet. But that doesn't mean that because you have that diet, you have to go out and make everybody eat the same thing. One way or the other. So you don't have to eat our food, and that's fine. But understanding that if you're going to a very traditional Hispanic household and you're going to bring food, no Diet Coke and none of this, salt-free stuff. Give it to us. Give us the hard stuff.
Yes.
And it'll be either it'll be put aside but appreciated, or it'll be gobbled up by everybody.
Good tip. Food is always the key.
And then the second one is family. So we're really huge on family. So being mindful of that we will have a hard time letting go of our family, including our grandparents, because for us, elders are revered, right? So it's a whole different dynamic, and that has to be understood also by the caregiver. So these little things are what make our chamber and what we're trying to do. I believe it's a different niche,
which helps sets us apart, yes, among business owners. Absolutely.
So when you guys are called, Kelly, in most cases, like right now, are you guys busy right now? I imagine, right?
Yes. After the hurricane, there's a lot of families that are trying to put back their houses together that normally were taking care of their aging loved ones, so they need a little help with that, so they can pay attention to their house and things like that.
So what kind of things are you guys doing then right now for those people?
We help with what we call ADLs, which are activities of daily living. So that's anything that you and I may take for granted every day, such as being able to get, put our pants on one leg at a time, and being able to brush our teeth, comb our hair, feed ourselves, shower, and even drive ourselves around. So all of those things are activities of daily living. So, as seniors age, they begin to need a little more help with several things. It could be one thing at a time. It could be multiple things they need help with. A lot of it's just companionship as well. So just having someone to be with them, during the day, to maybe play dominoes with them, to talk about, old war stories, whatever they enjoy doing. We definitely incorporate that into our assessment. We do an individualized service plan where I actually go out and meet with them and find out, what are some hobbies they have? What are some what did they do for a living before they retired? What do they enjoy going out and doing in the community? What are their favorite foods? So that the caregivers have something to kind of base, as they begin to build a relationship with them.
Okay.
And it does take a good couple of weeks for, caregivers and clients to really mesh and get to know each other and make a good fit.
Now, how many people does one caregiver take care of?
We are unique because we are what we call private duty, and that's a one-on-one caregiver ratio.
Wow.
So that is really the big benefit of being able to age in place at home. Versus if you go to, let's say, a skilled nursing facility, what some people may call a nursing home,
Sure.
The caregiver ratio there may be, 20 clients to one caregiver. So, the ratio alone makes it very difficult to get the high level of care that you might need, the personalization that you might enjoy. So having your own private caregiver at home really improves the quality of care that you're getting.
Sure. Okay. And I imagine it takes a special person, to be able to sit with the senior and just kind of be their companion and just be with them.
Yes, yes. So we are regulated through the state. So we have certain regulations we have to abide by. And so we always do the background checks. We check them against something called an employee misconduct registry. But what I found, and it's kind of funny, I joke, some of the best caregivers I have came from the childcare industry at one point,
Wow, yeah.
or they are in their 50s and 60s. Those tend to be my best prime caregivers.
Wow.
A lot of them have either taken care of an aging loved one themselves, or they, and the kids have grown and they just want to be able to give back. There's just a wonderful feeling about helping, someone else. And so they are very dependable and very compassionate. That's one of the main things I look for, because anybody can be trained to do some of the skills we need to do. But if you're missing that compassionate component, that's something that really can't be taught. So
I agree.
we really look for people that have a passion for working with seniors and doing it, out of just for the goodness of doing good.
Wow. And okay. And your location, are you guys located mainly in Conroe, the Woodlands? Is that kind of your territory, or do you?
Yeah, I consider us North Houston. Our main office is in Spring,
Okay.
kind of Old Town, behind Old Town Spring. We cover Spring, the Woodlands, Conroe, Montgomery, Magnolia, and Humble.
Wow.
So
That's a huge
we cover
territory.
kind of a wide territory.
Okay. So something that we didn't mention earlier, and that we have to mention for sure now, we'll mention it again in a little bit, is your ribbon cutting inauguration 3-year anniversary celebration Thursday night. Tell us about that.
That is coming up this Thursday night. We're actually going to have it at our office, which is located at 26029 Aldine Westfield Road, and we're Suite 101. Again, like I said, that's behind Old Town Spring, but we definitely want everyone to come out. We love to show off our training room. We have a actual hospital bed and all kinds of hospital equipment set up in the training room. So all caregivers go through a rigorous training there so that they know how to transfer people safely and how to do, some of those activities of daily living, such as changing briefs and things like that. So
What's your phone number?
our phone number is 832-585-1941. So we're definitely going to have several people out. We're going to be doing some networking. We're going to be having some door prizes. We're going to have some food, of course. We got to have food.
Gotta have food, real food.
Yes, I'm planning some really good meatballs, but they're not going to be as good as Dr.
We
Thigpen's,
also
but-
accept pigs in a blanket and stuff like that. We don't mind as long as it's.
Yes.
The thing is, you don't serve a crudité. You know what a crudité is? It's the vegetable
the
platter.
crunchy vegetable.
Like, okay, but where's the
Yeah.
everything
that too.
everything you used to eat 40 years ago.
Yes.
That when we really didn't have that awareness of what foods actually do to you is more impactful in Hispanic America than the foods we use now, which are either they're bleached or they're shredded down of all of the nutrients and stuff.
I know.
I don't know. It's just so
Yeah,
different now.
it's so different.
Anyway, so not that there's anything wrong with it. We eat all those foods and we're happy with any kind of food, especially when it's free.
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you also something that strikes me as interesting when you do reach a certain age is a lot of your seniors might not be able to do things, but they're able to think things. Their minds are still very young because your mind never really ages, So do you have programs or things to help people with their awareness, with their sharpness and stuff like that?
Yes. So, the baby boomer generation is aging. I think their last statistics I saw were about 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 every day.
Wow.
That's a lot of seniors that are moving into the retirement population. So one thing I've noticed is that baby boomers have a little bit higher level of They enjoy a higher lifestyle than what their grandparents did. So the regular old nursing home is not going to work for them. They enjoy what we call 5-star living.
Yes.
And so their expectations are a little bit higher. So, they really enjoy that one-on-one, having someone in their home. We kind of call it more of a concierge service sometimes than a caregiving service. If some people have trouble with, I don't need a caregiver,
Sure.
So, who doesn't love a concierge service? Someone to come and kind of be their personal assistant and help them with things, go grocery shopping. But, one of the things we really work on is brain games. I am really a big advocate for the Alzheimer's Association.
Yes.
And so I do a lot of public speaking on ways to help improve your brain health. And so one of those is actually doing some brain games and keeping the brain active. So reading, doing brain games on, games on the computer, or just keeping active, going out and doing social activities. We individualize, like I said, the care plans to whatever they need. And if that means taking them out to a group activity, taking them to go play their bunco or their bridge or whatever it is, we want to keep them active member of society, because that really helps combat some of that loneliness.
Absolutely. So Always Best Care is your business.
Yes.
You own the business. How long have you been in this field?
We have been open. We just celebrated our third year anniversary, so we've been doing about 3 years in this area. I am actually a longtime healthcare worker, so I am a registered and licensed dietitian by trade. And so one of the things I did was a consultant in those skilled nursing facilities, and I was able to see firsthand, the care concerns that seniors, were having in those types of communities.
Sure.
And so as a dietitian, I really like to work with them to help modulate some of the symptoms of aging.
Absolutely.
Through some of the nutrition and some of the brain health foods and superfoods and things like that.
Superfoods. So you recommend things like garlic and
like avocados and blueberries and
tacos? No, I guess tacos is not
salmon.
A superfood, right?
No, that doesn't make the superfood list.
Well, you can put avocado in tacos.
We can put some avocado on it, yeah, and some, tomatoes and things like that. So.
Okay. So I think it's really interesting, all the things. I mean, your background has to be really, really extensive to do this responsibly and to be able to take care of people. And it's such a big responsibility. Like if people call in sick, like during the hurricane and things like that, that you had to mobilize and make sure you took care of everyone.
Yes. So it's a logistic, issue we had. But of course, because we are licensed through the state, we are required to have an emergency preparedness plan. And so we were able to institute that, quite seamlessly, and we were able to triage the clients that absolutely could not be left alone.
Wow.
And we were able to match the caregivers that were able to get out of their neighborhoods.
Wow,
and
very
so that
good.
we were able to work and do the ones we could.
So we're here with Kelly Britton with ABC Senior Services. If you want to take care of your senior citizens, if you want more attention, or if you want to make sure that they are with a reliable service, call 832-585-1441. 1941. It looks like a 4. 1941. When we come back, we'll talk more specifically with Kelly. Really interesting. So we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Looking for a bilingual insurance company in the Montgomery County area? Since 2006, the Amell Agency is a family-owned insurance agency, and it all started with Leonard Amell. Now working with 3 full-time agents offering home, auto, life, and umbrella insurance, the Amell Agency works with you to provide the insurance you need. Whether it be for your business or personal needs, they put that need first. The Amell Agency of the Woodlands is open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. Call today at 832-299-6640 or email them anytime at info@amellagency.com to answer any of your questions. For more information on location and inquiries, look up Amell Agency online at amellagency.com. The Amell Agency, Montgomery County's bilingual insurance agency.
We're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection Radio program. I'm here with Kelly Britton with ABC Senior Services. Kelly Britton is committed to helping people and working with people who have reached a certain age where your mind is still very active, but your body maybe is not working the same as it used to, and they might need help with everything from just changing things at home to changing things on your body, clothing and brushing your teeth or your hair and things like that. So there's all kinds of wonderful services that Kelly and her company provide. And so thanks again for being here, Kelly.
Yes.
And so could you give us a rundown again on just basically what kind of people you work with, who are your main, I guess, referral partners, and give us again the definition of your company, if you would.
Sure. So again, I'm Kelly Britton with Always Best Care Senior Services. And so we specialize in private duty in-home care and free assisted living placement in the North Houston area. So we enjoy working with seniors who want to be able to stay in play at home and age in place. Most people don't want to pack up their 40 years of life at a home and move into a small apartment. So the ideal situation is to be able to stay at home. And so we help those seniors be able to stay there. We help them with activities of daily living, such as, grocery shopping, medication reminders, meal preparation, personal care, grooming, companionship, and all those wonderful things that help them stay independent at home.
So how can someone reach you?
So you can reach us, obviously, through our office number. It's 832-585-1941. We also have a website. It's abcthewoodlands.com, where you can find lots of information on there. We're always looking for great caregivers. You can apply directly on there as well. We work with a lot of referral partners in the community, and we just like to be, a one-stop source for seniors. So if we can't help you, we can definitely plug you into a business in the community that can definitely help you.
Well, thank you, Kelly. Thanks a lot for all that information. I think it's really important. At what point, though, should I make that decision? I mean, if I have parents who I see they're obviously, they are not who they were before by any means, and maybe they're struggling a little bit. How do I I can't make that decision for them.
Right. That's a great question.
What do I do?
Great question. So there are a lot of challenges with that. So a lot of times we'll get calls from the children of the aging parents with some concerns. And of course, some concerns that, you might notice, or maybe they've got some dings on their car because they shouldn't be driving. Maybe they're forgetting to take their medications. Maybe their home isn't as kept as well as usual. Maybe, your great aunt who always has her red lipstick on all of a sudden doesn't care and doesn't put her lipstick on anymore. So those are changes that people can pick up on. Especially with the holidays coming up, it's really good time because you're going to be more in contact with some aging family members.
What do you mean holidays coming up?
Can you believe that? I know.
People yesterday, I think one of our esteemed members, Julie Peters, at a meeting yesterday, said, "I have my holiday catalog with me." Like, holiday catalog.
I know you're trying to pretend it's not coming, but it is.
But it's amazing how fast it's coming too.
So with Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're going to be spending a lot more time with extended family, and so that's a really good time to pick up on some of these small little nuances.
Sure.
Even just giving someone a hug, you might be able to notice they've lost a lot of weight.
Right.
They feel thinner. Maybe they're not showering as much as they used to, and they have some body odor. So there's a lot of things you might pick up on.
But how do you introduce it, though?
So that's a challenge. So, we try to do it as a group. We try to make sure that the family is involved with the client. We want to sit everybody down together. So one of the things we do is we offer a free in-home assessment. There's no obligation. And we come and sit down with the family and kind of see what the needs are. Like, what's going on? What prompted them to call us today? Sure. And then we begin to kind of put together some resources. And so if we're not the best fit, we'll definitely plug them into some resources that are.
Because I ask that because I know that the son that picked up the parents when we were flooded didn't act as though it was a big deal.
It's like they've done it before.
Right. It's as though he's heard it before, Like, okay, I got to pick you guys up. You're underwater. Okay, I'll just pick you up and take you a different way because you couldn't get past the river, And it didn't seem, to me, I didn't feel that he was as worried about their health than the firemen.
Yeah, and I think, what I've noticed a lot, too, is family caregivers really tend to step up and do the best they can. But, they get burnt out.
Sure.
Things happen. When you're trying to, maybe you're still in the age where you've got kids at home. You're trying to run a business. You're trying to, do your volunteer activities. And then you still got to go by and take care of mom and dad or worry about them or get those calls in the middle of the night when they fall and you got to go pick them up. So it becomes a real challenge. And so we want to be that resource, that help, to kind of step in and kind of help them.
Sure.
And a lot of family members, I've noticed they really don't like to cross that personal care barrier. They don't want to be helping mom or dad in the shower because of dignity or personal issues.
Absolutely.
So, I think offsetting those chores to a company like us would be, an ideal situation to help protect some of that relationship.
Like I've made a deal with my wife. She has to be able to change my diaper or it's not going to happen. I mean,
We'll come and do that, Carlos.
Well, you know what I mean? But those kinds of things, I'm sure.
Right.
And we joke, but they're very, very meaningful.
Yeah, and I truly understand the personal dynamics that goes on with family situations.
Sure.
My father was very young when he passed away, and my mom and sister are both nurses. So, his goal, he was one of those old farmer guys and said, don't ever put me in a nursing home. Don't ever take me to the hospital. I want to stay here on the farm.
Sure.
So we were all able to pitch in, come together, come up with a care plan where we can all take turns.
Yeah.
Kind of pitching in and helping.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult. I understand the strain of that, even when you're professionals like nurses that are doing the care. It's so emotionally taxing. So I understand, the need and the desire of honoring someone's wish.
I had a brother who had multiple sclerosis, and for the last 10 years of his life, he was incapacitated. I mean, he was in bed basically, right? So to care for him without the care of the hospital and a special unit of people would have been impossible.
You just can't do it all by yourself.
You just don't know what to do.
Right.
And my mother could never, he's a big guy like me, right? He's like 6 foot tall, big person. My mother could never pick him up and help him around.
Right.
It's just impossible to care for someone. So there's different things, and there's different things that will prompt you to think, okay, do I need to call ABC Senior Services, or do I need to call somebody like you? Because right now they're just not able to take care of the way they should be taking care of their parents or someone.
Yeah, and safety is a big issue, and you want to outsource some of those things to professional caregivers so that you can then be the family.
Right.
You can go and talk to them about, just be companion, be friends, and not have to worry about what all's on their to-do list.
That's a big deal because, even my mom these days, right? My mother's 75 years old, and my sisters take care of her. I have 5 sisters.
Oh, wow.
They're all named Maria. It's the whole thing. Okay. So I know. It's a Hispanic thing. So they take care of mom.
Yeah,
she lives in
absolutely.
Mexico. But frequently my mother falls. She has issues, right? Because but she will not move out of her house.
We call that stubborn. We have a lot of stubborn.
My mother's
clients.
beyond stubborn. She's broken her hip and her shoulder, all kinds of different things, and still. So on Facebook and on other means of social media, my sisters communicate saying, okay, I bathed her. Now she's ready to go to church. They do things for her. But all of that, without 5 that are teaming up and helping, I can think that's impossible.
Right. She's blessed to have 5 of them really pitching in
And
and helping.
still caring enough to do it, Because I know for sure, just like this guy who picked up his parents, he's probably burned out a little bit. Because his parents, come on, in the middle of the night, it's at 8 p.m. and they're driving in the dark in a flooding area.
It's inevitable. Yeah, that happens. And what we call that is respite care, when you just need a little break. And so sometimes we'll even, over the summer, we'll come and sit with somebody just for a short term because the family goes on vacation.
See, I didn't know you had that.
So maybe sometimes, they're the ones that check in on grandma or grandpa, but then they're going on vacation. So who's going to do that? So we can just do some short-term things like that. We actually also do post-surgical needs. So people that have knee replacements, hip replacements, they may just need care for about 6 weeks because when they get home, they can't drive. They can't.
So let me ask you this then. Yeah, what's your most common client these days? I mean, who are the most common people who call you?
Lately, we've been having a lot of widowermen. And so, the women are the ones that typically did everything for them.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of lost and they need some assistance with grocery shopping and meal preparation and just some companionship.
And even depression, right? I mean,
and so combating that depression and helping them get out and do some of those things. So we get a lot of those. We do get some post-surgical. In the Woodlands, we get a lot of plastic surgeries.
Sure. Gotta be good.
There are some people that, just temporarily can't do some things, but it's a short-term need.
No, and it doesn't have to be a certain age, does it?
Right. We're licensed for anyone over the age of 18. So,
wow. Okay.
So we just can't do pediatrics. We're introducing some new mommy care and things like that, where we're not going to be there for the baby, but we're there to help the new mother, who's, maybe the mother came in and flew in, the grandmother came in and helped, but then she had to fly back out, and now the mom's at home with the baby. She needs some help with laundry, some meal preration.
You guys do that
some
too.
Grocery shopping. Again, it's that concierge service, where we can help her to get to nap when the baby's napping,
Sure. That's interesting. I don't think that's the awareness of people. Even myself, I'm learning something new because I did believe it was more senior care.
Well, we do a lot of that. That's primarily
For
what we
sure.
do. Yeah. But, we again call it a concierge service. So anybody that can benefit from having a personal assistant that can kind of do whatever they direct, that's some of that light housekeeping, that meal preparation, even if it's personal care, those types of things. We do specialize in Alzheimer's care as well. So, depending on what the needs are.
So tell us the general territory again, Kelly, please.
We cover the North Houston area. So Spring, Conroe, Woodlands, Montgomery, Magnolia, and Humble.
Okay. And the number, of course, is 832?
585-1941.
Okay. So free assessment, they can talk to you to figure out what they need to do.
Nothing. Yeah, we just sit and talk, and we just find out what the plan is. And again, if we can't help you, there's lots of community resources, adult daycares and assisted livings. We also try to help match make seniors with communities if that's something they want. So, for instance, if they're no longer able to stay at home, maybe the budget doesn't allow, and they do need to move into an assisted living, we can help make them to a community.
Wow. Okay.
Based on their location, desired location, their budget, and the care that they need.
Sure. And a lot of that is not covered by
That's probably one of the biggest misconceptions I hear. I get a lot of phone calls. People think that Medicare is going to cover all this long-term care in between. So you fall, you break a hip, you go to the hospital, you have surgery, you go to rehab, that's all covered. Then they send you home.
Right.
And they think that you're medically stable, but maybe you still can't stand for a long period of time. Maybe you can't drive for a long period of time. So again, those are what we call non-medical care, non-medical needs.
Because then it's you and your 12 cats.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to take care of the cats?
Yeah,
right?
so that's not covered. So we do accept long-term care insurance.
Okay.
So that if that's something that you have, we can definitely file and work with that. We accept veterans aid and attendance pension.
Wow.
So that's something we can help. We always ask if there's a veteran in the family that we can try to match up with some things, and then private pay.
Very good. So this is a lot of information for sure, Kelly. So people will have to call you, no questions. When we come back, we're going to talk about some events that you have coming up, some things that you have coming up that you guys are supporting, and another interesting items. So we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Looking for a bilingual insurance company in the Montgomery County area? Since 2006, the Amell Agency is a family-owned insurance agency, and it all started with Leonard Amell. Now working with 3 full-time agents offering home, auto, life, and umbrella insurance, the Amell Agency works with you to provide the insurance you need. Whether it be for your business or personal needs, they put that need first. The Amell Agency of the Woodlands is open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. Call today at 832-299-6640 or email them anytime at info@amellagency.com to answer any of your questions. For more information on location and inquiries, look up Amell Agency online at amellagency.com. The Amell Agency, Montgomery County's bilingual insurance agency.
And we're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection Radio for and by members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber, or you might know us as the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber. Guys, don't worry about the name. Just focus. It'll be okay. We are a chamber of commerce that's very mobile all over town, and many, many events and many opportunities for you to network. Today, we're speaking with Kelly Britton with ABC Senior Services. Kelly has some incredible, just great information. I think it's very heartwarming to know there are organizations out there who care for the people that we can't always care for. It's very difficult, and I know because I've lived it personally, to take care of family members and still maintain a regular sort of routine and all the things that go in with loss of dignity. I think is so major. I remember when my father fell ill to lung cancer, he just didn't want us to look at him. And he had real issues when he was in the hospital. And he would say, "Don't even come visit me. I don't want to see you," because of how bad he felt that he felt he was letting us down. All the dignity issues that come up, and you guys are real sensitive to that. And I think that really matters. To have even someone to talk to about these things.
Absolutely.
Because half the time the hospitals either don't know, don't care, or can't do it. They're too busy. So for sure, it's a great organization, guys. If you're listening and you have any kind of questions, by all means, give Kelly a call. Get your answers. Get your questions answered, and so we have something coming up, Kelly. This is something else that I think that our listeners should be really interested in this, because not even adult, just Alzheimer's in general, is a pretty big issue in our country, and it's something that almost everybody gets touched by. Just like cancer, that either yourself, your family, or someone has been touched by this illness. And it's just important to understand kind of what are the ramifications, what's really happening right now from your point of view with Alzheimer's.
Yes. So, for me personally, my grandmother suffered with Alzheimer's and passed away in 2005. So, I know the struggle that families have, and it's so difficult for the families. The client that's suffering with Alzheimer's oftentimes is not aware of a lot of things that are going on. So it's more detrimental to the family, and to see the families, suffer and take it personal when the family doesn't recognize them and doesn't remember things. It's a very devastating disease. So one of the things we do, Always Best Care, is a national supporter of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Okay. And so I am on the committee, the Walk committee this year. And we are having a walk that's coming up in October. It's October the 7th at Town Green Park in the Woodlands. It'll be at 9 o'clock that morning. So we're going to have everybody come out. Our goal is to walk to raise funds to help find a cure for Alzheimer's. And so, that's why we're going to be out there. We've got teams going on. You can feel free to visit alzheimers.org/walk if you would like to start your own team in honor or in memory of someone who has Alzheimer's, or you can join a current team that's already in place. But our goal is to really help find that cure and raise funds. We're hoping to give away the first white flower this year in the flower garden, which is our mission, and that's going to be to the first survivor of Alzheimer's, because currently there is no cure for Alzheimer's.
So it's a degenerative. It's basically progressive. It's something that gets worse over time.
It's progressive. It gets worse over time. It's very devastating.
Can we say that it's manageable at this point, Kelly? What do you think?
Yes, there's medications. There's just the care, the interactions. A lot of the memory care that we do goes into a lot of that brain stimulation and things to help recall memories. Whether it's if it's a gentleman who was in the war or he worked with his hands with tools, we try to get them in touch with those feelings, and because it helps them recall those memories.
Absolutely.
They have much better long-term memory than they do that short-term memory. So they often tend to regress and ask, where's my mom, where's my dad, when they're 80 years old.
Sure.
So they remember those details a lot more clearer in their mind.
Do you guys do memory care as well, Kelly, or do you handle some of that?
Yes, we do. We absolutely have caregivers that are specialized in memory care, and we do that at the home. And the goal is for the client to be able to stay at home with family.
Okay. So the walk. Basically, I put on a ribbon. Do I get a ribbon?
You can get a T-shirt.
We get a T-shirt. It's only $50, but it's for a good cause, right?
Yes.
And basically, the walk is like 2 or 3 blocks, or is it a long?
It's going to be about a mile. So it'll have everything will be mapped out. It's a pretty easy walk. There'll be lots of vendors out there. There'll be lots of volunteers out there. We'll have lots of food and things like that to give away. And, we just want, and people will bring their pets out. I mean, it's just a really fun time. And there'll be some people talking about, and there'll be someone who's suffering with Alzheimer's that'll give their story and, about family members that are dealing with it. It's all about that.
And the big idea is I think most of our members are aware because of family and because of friends and things about this. So I think it'd be a great idea if we just keep talking about it, just to make sure that at our events that you have a few moments to talk about it.
Yes, and at our open house, our ribbon cutting on Thursday.
When is this ribbon cutting?
The ribbon cutting is actually going to be this Thursday, the 14th, from 5:30 to 7:30 at our office, the Always Best Care office, located at 26029 Aldine Westfield Road, Suite 101 in Spring, Texas. So we're actually going to have some raffles going on. We're going to give away a $500 gift card with $5 raffle tickets.
Wow.
So be sure and, come out and purchase some of that. And that all those donations go towards the Alzheimer's Walk.
Okay. All right. So, and that's not that far away from the Woodlands, right? I mean, it's right down the street.
Yeah, that's right.
Easy to get to. Because I do have some members. This is curious. It's funny, but, at the same time, kind of sad, who, well, I wouldn't say it's sad. It's just what it is. They get offended if you tell them to go anywhere south of, Rayford,
Well, it's just Tulueta, so it's not too far.
And they don't get badly offended, but they're like, what? I'm not trying to, because I've asked them, go to Vintage Park. No, I'm not going to Vintage Park. I'm the Woodlands zone. So, and I get it. It's you're comfortable. You don't like moving around outside of the Woodlands. It's cool, but you're not that far away.
Yeah, it's not that far. And, another thing we have coming up is, one of the things that frustrates me and other people is when we get those calls for care, a lot of times people can't afford the care. So then they're really left in a difficult situation.
Sure.
So when you fail to plan or you don't have a plan, your resources or your options become very limited at that point. So again, we like to be out educating in the community, trying to get the younger population to kind of wrap their head around, okay, let's get a plan together before there's a crisis, before there's a healthcare crisis. So we do these senior seminars in the community. So we do have one coming up in October. We're going to be having it here at the Carriage Inn in Conroe. It's a great independent living community that's close by here. And so we're going to have it on October the 23rd and October the 24th. So those are free seminars. You can come out and learn from an elder law attorney, a long-term care expert, and myself will be there. So again, we're trying to be a one-stop shop for everybody.
And what are you guys doing at Lone Star College?
At Lone Star College, we work with the Adult Lifelong Learning Program. And so that is a wonderful program. I've been a member of participating in that for about 4 or 5 semesters now.
I've heard about it.
And so I really enjoy it. So it's anyone that's 50 and over, you pay a one-time fee. I think it's like only $40 for the whole semester.
Wow.
And you can come out and take any class that is offered through the Adult Lifelong Learning Program. And most of the campuses have it. I do teach at the Montgomery campus. But I believe, Kingwood and Tomball and North Harris have it as well. But I teach a couple classes. I teach one on senior care options to help people kind of wrap their head around how much, senior care is going to cost, at some point. Sure. And then also I teach one on brain health. Eat smart for a healthier brain because, I want to make sure we want to keep those superfoods in our diet. We've
been talking to Kelly Britton, ABC Senior Services. Guys, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, if you know someone or if you yourself would like to explore options and find out what you can do to take care of your seniors, take care of yourself, please give Kelly a call at 832-585-1941. Thank you for being on the show, Kelly.
Very welcome. Thank you.
I thought this was a very, very interesting program, very interesting show. We appreciate everything you're doing, and we hope to have you back real soon.
I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez signing off with the Hispanic Chamber Connection. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you again next week.
Looking for a bilingual insurance company in the Montgomery County area? Since 2006, the Amell Agency is a family-owned insurance agency, and it all started with Leonard Amell. Now working with 3 full-time agents offering home, auto, life, and umbrella insurance, the Amell Agency works with you to provide the insurance you need. Whether it be for your business or personal needs, they put that need first. The Amell Agency of the Woodlands is open Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. Call today at 832-299-6640 or email them anytime at info@amellagency.com to answer any of your questions. For more information on location and inquiries, look up Amell Agency online at amellagency.com. The Amell Agency, Montgomery County's bilingual insurance agency.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show is recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.